Hi there, it's Jaya.
And Ellen Heed.
We're the founders of RSVP, where we teach new moms and couples powerful techniques to help them end painful sex, restore time and energy, establish intimacy and connection so that they can turn on their lust, love, and light. We're talking about ending painful sex. And one of the keys to ending painful sex is actually arousal. Who would have thought?
What do you know?
So, Ellen, what are some of the reasons why we want to pay attention to arousal, and what does it have to do with pain?
Well, a lot, in fact. We're talking about arousal, and arousal is important because without arousal, there's no engorgement. And without engorgement, there's no lubrication. And if there's no lubrication, then friction will cause
ouch,
pain, tearing, all kinds of problems and discomfort during sex. Mm-hmm. If there is if a woman is in her postpartum period, let's say within the first year of having a child, she may have a change in the balance of her hormones that encourages less lubrication. She may be dehydrated because of breastfeeding, and it may be hard to gauge exactly where she is in her arousal trajectory. So I'd like to know from you, Jaya, what are some of the ways that people can discover how aroused they actually are?
I think this is really important because what often happens with women is that they have intercourse before they're ready, or penetration with fingers, toys, anything before they're actually ready. I know for me, my mind says, I want that in there. But my body may not be ready for that. So, I have to know within myself, when am I ready physically? And I have to check in with myself. And Ellen, you have a really great exercise to recommend to women to help them sort of discover, the things we're looking for, which are, we want to look for changes in color, changes in swelling, so how the tissue swells up, changes in our breath. These are some of the things that this exercise can help with to notice.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because what's interesting is that women have a lot of engorgeable tissue in their body, but they don't know where it is because it's underneath the skin, so it's not so easy to locate. But key areas to look for when you're checking for your own changes as you move through arousal, what I really like to recommend to my female clients is that they do some self-pleasuring exercises with a mirror. That they, do it in front of the mirror so you can see what happens and what the changes are.
This is in the name of biology, people.
That's
so
right.
Just,
You're doing your research.
Science.
I'm doing it for science.
Yes.
I love that. So here you are with your mirror and your favorite toy, for instance, and you take a snapshot in your mind of the before you start. You see your outer lips, you see your inner lips, you see the introitus, that's the opening to the vagina, and you see how they look. And then you do some self-pleasuring and it starts to feel pretty good, and you're watching and feeling for your lubrication to start increasing, and you take another look. You may see that your lips are changing color, that they're changing size, that your introitus is starting to close in a tighter kind of a fashion, and you keep going. And maybe you have an orgasm. Then you look again and you see what's changed again, and there may be yet a further change in color, more changes in size, and certainly a snugger fit around the introitus, because as those engorgeable tissues fill up, the introitus gets tighter and tighter. And people say, well, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my my tone and my tightness in my vagina with childbirth.
The secret's out.
It's
Just get aroused.
It's about arousal. It's about engorgement. And that's really where the fun is and where the good feeling is.
So guys, if you're watching this and you have a female partner, some things to look at, some things we've been talking about were change in color. So you're going to see more of a purplish, sort of pinkish, darkening usually of the vulva. And then sometimes she also gets flush around the cheeks or around this area here in the chest. Goose pimples. These are signs that things are feeling really good and blood is engorging these areas. Looking for a feel of swelling, like the labia will swell up, the whole vulva will swell up itself. Pupils dilating. I think that this is a really good one. You can look in her eyes and see, because if her pupils are dilating, it means that other sphincters are dilating. And Ellen, you have a story about that.
Oh, I do. Well, in the Renaissance, women used to actually use an herb called belladonna. It's in the nightshade family, and we're not recommending this, but it's just something that people, like a
Don't try this at home.
No, but cosmetically, women would darken their lips because the lips also swell and darken with arousal, the lips around your mouth, as well as the lips other places.
Other places.
Yes. And then the pupils dilate. And the sign of a beautiful woman in the Renaissance, as it is today, was an aroused woman. And so these drops of belladonna in the eyes cause the pupils to swell automatically. And hence this look of inviting, I'm ready, come take me, and the name belladonna, beautiful woman, for this herb.
So something you can try at home, we don't recommend the belladonna, but lighting candles, candlelight is something that actually causes the pupils to dilate. That's why romantic candlelit dinners are associated with our sex, because there's actually something to darkness which causes that to happen. So little tip there. We hope that you've really enjoyed this video, gotten a lot of knowledge out of it. If you want more juicy tidbits from us, you can go to reclaimsex.com and find out more from Jaya and Ellen, the somatic sexologists. We're actually world-renowned sexologists. Until then, go out and claim your love, lust, and life today.